everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course we hope you already have an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Yanni and I'm doing this home decor channel, of course, together with Diane. If you want to see what we make and you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels, and we hope you will subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. So enough talking. For today we are going to make a new home decor inspiration. I hope you take out also your tumbler tile blocks and join me in this new DIY. For this DIY we need of course our tumbler tile blocks, some glue sticks, some brushes, some furniture wax, but of course you can choose any wax you like. I use my wood glue because I use that a lot. Of course some paint at your choice and a glue gun if you like to use that also. So but most of the time I use my wood glue. So this is a little bit of the main pieces we need for this DIY. Of course later on we need a couple of things, but that's also at your own choice, so you can do anything you like. We are going to make from tumbler tile blocks three different kind of at least three sizes of cutting boards. So we will see how this will turn out. We are going to start with the smaller size of our cutting board. We are going to get a block of 3, so very easy, and just go only for 2 pieces. You need some glue, 1 and number 2, and we are going to glue them together like this. Squeeze it and we make a nice straight line again. Of course we take another 3, and again only on 2 pieces you do some glue, and on this one. And now we're going to place them together again and squeeze it and press it down. And we take of course our wet towel, and I have always an old piece, and I'm going to remove the glue because or else it will be a very very piece with a lot of glue on it, and that's not what we want because we need a nice clean surface. So, and again over here, place it here and make your mat also a little bit cleaner like this. And we are going to, when this is dried in for a couple of minutes, we are going to glue them together. In the meantime, while these two are drying, I'm going to take one block and I'm going to take 1.5 because I always have a package of blocks with half pieces. So I'm going to go for a 1/2 block, and I have to look of course which one is the nicest. I'm going for this one. So I'm going to do some glue on the inside of this one. Just do and place it against each other like this, so you get for the ending a little bit of the thicker one, but of course not too much, because if you do 2 blocks it will be much too thick for the ending. And this is a nice ending if you place it in the middle. So we let this dry in also. In the meantime, this is dried up, at least dried in a little. I'm going to do some glue and we're going to place them together this way, squeeze it and press it down, and let this dry also for a couple of minutes again. So I waited a couple of minutes, and now I'm going to do some glue on the ending like this, and I'm going to place it of course in the middle over here. And now I'm going to squeeze it, press it down and remove the glue. And we let this dry of course also 1.5 hours before we go further with this cutting board. So we lay this little cutting board aside. Of course this one is also very nice to use in your tier tray. So if you need something for in your tier tray, you can lay it down this way, maybe a nice print on top of here and a little bit of greenery for the Christmas or for the fall. You do a little fall tag on top of here and some fall leaves over here, and you already have your nice little for in your tier tray. So you can make 3 of them, so you can have on each stage of your 3-tier tray, and if you have 2 of course 2, but you can do so much with it. So we let this dry. We're going to go now for the bigger one of the middle size, and that will be blocks of 4, and we're going to do on 3 blocks only some glue and this one, and we're going to roll them together in a nice straight line, squeeze it and press it down. And this is already 1. We are going for another piece of 4, And again, only 3 blocks with some glue. And number 3. And we're going to place them together again. Squeeze it and press it down. And we want to make sure that everything dries in very nicely. And of course we need the ending, and that will be 2 blocks, not 1.5, but this time will be 2. And again, place them together, squeeze it and make a nice straight line again. Of course, we take our little towel and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need everywhere. And a little on the tops over here. And the last over here. So, and we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. And of course, the middle size is also dried in. I'm going to do some glue. And I'm going to place it against each other this way. Squeeze it and try as get it close to each other as you can. And we're going to do the handle of, yeah, I don't know how you of course I have to look it up. It has a name. Here in the Netherlands we call it a steel, but I don't know in English. I have to look it up. You hear it later, and it slipped my mind. And like this, and we're going to let this dry also in, and then we're going to go for the bigger one. Also the middle size is ready to dry. We are going to now for the bigger one, and if you couldn't imagine it, we don't need 4 blocks, but we need 5. How is it possible? Of course, we only need 4 pieces with some glue, and this one will be a much bigger one. And of course, number 4 and number 5 will be the closure up. And number 5, place it like this, and you're going to squeeze it and press it down in a nice straight line again, or else it doesn't fit on top of each other. So make sure that you have everything squeezed well together. And again, 5 again. It's so easy to make, and you can make these cutting boards, like I said, for any season. You just take your blocks, glue a couple of them together and do some print or some decoration on it. You can do it for the winter season, for the Valentine. You can use them for anything, and they are so easy. And if you normally buy them in a store, they are very expensive. At least here they are very expensive. I don't know, is it there with you? But most of the time, if I bought a while ago in some clearance, I already also bought this kind of little cutting boards, but they are so easy and cheap to make. So it's always much cheaper to make them yourself, and you can change them up any way you like. That's always the great thing I like. So you can go for 2, you can go for 3, but you also can do for maybe 2.5. I think I'm going to debate if I maybe, this is not a nice one. I have to look for a little bit more than nice. This is better. So I also can go for maybe 2.5, like this. I think I like it better than 3. So I'm going to do this away, and I'm going to glue all of them together. So 1 and this one, and of course now we still need a little bit extra because this one is a little bit on the cutting side. So I'm always do some extra glue, and this way, and we're just going to squeeze it and press it down like this. And we also let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we're going to go also for this one, and a little line with some glue, and place it together and squeeze it real tight. Try to get it as straight. You see already, if you do it this way, sometimes it goes open, but it doesn't matter because you can easily push it together again. We do some glue over here, and we're going to place this one. I think I'm going to do also a little glue on this one. Oh, it's a little. And we're going to place it in the middle of the 5, but I think you already know this because this is so easy to make. And we're going to let this dry in also. And yes, I have this one ready, but I think for my idea he is too small. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get 5 blocks again, and I'm going to make it a little row longer because I don't like it the size he is right now. And now if you use them, all 3 of them together, then it's better that you have one a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go for 1 row extra. And again, make just 5, very easy, together this way. And again, we let this dry in and we're going to glue this on top of here. So also this last row, we are going to glue together. And of course, I really enjoying the little ones, but I'm going to make also a size smaller than this one. I'm going to go for 3 only and a 1.5 of maybe 1. So this is easy. So we are going to do 3 blocks because I like also a very small one. This will be only 3 pieces like this. Squeeze it. And this is already a 1. And now you can do, of course, a 1 on this side, but you can also do 1.5 this way. And you also can go for 4 blocks. You can do anything you like, and you also can do a little bit shorter. If you think the ending is a little bit too long, just cut it in half, and you can also do the half. So I figured out a little bit how I want to have the little smaller one. I'm going for 1.5 as our handle, and we are going to glue this, of course, also, and over here. Place it in the middle, and this way squeeze it and press it down. But I'm going to do 1 block, but I'm going to do it on this way, so very easy. And then you make it even a little bit longer, but not too long, because if you do 2 rows it's very long, and I like a little of the smaller cutting boards. This way remove your glue. And we're going to let this dry also. Now we have 4 sizes of cutting boards. So you see our 4 cutting boards are finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my drilling machine, you call it. Here in the Netherlands we call it a boormachine. So it's a totally different word than you have drilling machine. So I'm going to drill some little holes in here on the ending. And of course you can do, if you don't have a drilling machine, you also can get a bead and just glue on the ending with some wood glue. You just glue a bead in the middle, so you have the same idea. And you also can do some ribbon or twine through it. But this time I'm going to drill a little hole over here, and then we're going to paint it. So you see we drilled our little holes inside here, the 2 of the bigger ones, and here a little bit of the smaller ones. Before we're going to paint it, I will give them a stand, because I like mine with a stand, so you can place them anywhere in your kitchen, in your tray, in your home decor, so you can easily place them this way. But of course, if you want to use it this way, it's also fine. But I'm going to give them, when I'm going to use him straight up, I have a stand on it. Of course, I'm going to do for this too, I'm going to do a different stand than for the smaller ones. So we're going first for the bigger ones. For the bigger ones, it's very easy. We are going to get some wood glue, and we're going to do very small line over here. And we're going to get it straight up, and we're going to place 1 block directly behind it, and this way. And we're going to do the same on this block, a little small line over here, and we're going to place another block also directly, like a little stair. We are going to glue this on the back side, and we're going to let this dry, and I'm going to make a second one. So very easy, a little thin line with some glue, and we're going to place it on the back side, of course, like this, very easy, and squeeze it. And then we're going to do a little line on this one, and we're going to place this one over here. And if you have even a bigger cutting board, you do a little extra block, because then you need a little bit more steadiness. So I'm going to go for this 3 and I'm going to let this dry. And now we're going to make them for the smaller ones. For the smaller ones, we use 2 blocks. We're going to glue them together this way. So a little glue, place them together, squeeze it and press it down. And we can take another block and we're going to do a little glue in the middle. And we're going to place this one, of course, in the middle. And make sure, give it a little push. And we're going to let this dry. We're going to do here the same. A little glue, placing it together, squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to do a little bit of glue. And we're going to place this one upside down over here and press it down. And we're going to let this dry also. With our little stair backside, you see already there is some glue coming out. Just take a very small pencil like this, of a pencil, a little small brush, and take the glue away, which we don't need. You just get your wet towel and just go over it again and wipe it away also over here, because if you leave it too much glue, it's very hard to get away later. So again, move away the glue and this way, and then we're going to let it dry again. And this will be away with some paint, and I'm also going to do it with this one. You see it, he's coming out over here. Just get your brush again and we're going to wipe it away, and also on this side. And if I turn it over, you see the glue also, and we're going to get it away, and again like this. So you can use the brush very easy. So the little stands are dried in, not totally dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my cutting board, the bigger one. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to get my stand, and I'm going to do some glue on this side over here. And I'm going to place my cutting board this way, and I'm going to get this on the side. Of course, it's a little bit, and we both place them down, and we're just going to go and we're going to glue it on the back side exactly in the middle of the other block. So this way, and I'm going to keep it in place for a couple of minutes. Of course, I will cut this, this video here off, or else you have to wait with me all those times. So don't worry, I will cut it off. Now we're going to get the 2 smaller ones, and we did made this one, and I'm going to glue them on the back side, but of course not totally under it, a little bit like this. I show it to you a little bit closer like this. I think I'm going to leave open this piece. You see, I'm not doing it totally on the underside, but a little bit above, so we can lean over a little bit to the back side and it doesn't fall on your table. At least we hope he doesn't fall on our table. So we're going to do some glue, and we're going to place it, like I said, in the middle, but a little higher. And we're going to do with this one the same, just a little glue on the back side, and we're going to place it also over here and a little higher like this. And we're going to let this dry, and this is how the back side is looking like when you see your cutting board, and it's just a very nice and easy stand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint mine in a little bit of the sand color. I'm totally into the sand color at this moment, because it gives a nice white, not totally white look, but at least a nice warmer look for the coming seasons. So I'm going to do some paint over here, and I'm going to give it a nice little layer of paint. But of course, with this paint you still can see a little bit of the wood coming through, and I really enjoy that. So, but choose any color you like. If you have another color, it's also fine too, but I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do it a little bit faster than this. you see how our cutting boards turned out, and they have a nice rope. You see already. He has this nice stand on his own. A little bit different like this one, because this one's easier for the smaller ones. And this one is better for the large ones. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the little one, because I also want to show you a little bit of the fall inspiration. I know it's Christmas in July, but of course I'm going to do also a little fall inspiration. So I'm going to place this one aside. And what I'm going to do is so easy. I think in each store where you live, you have some pieces laying around. I have a lot of these wooden pieces. I have leaves, I have for the fall season, and of course I have some mushrooms in different colors from a garland. So just go ahead, because everything is coming in store right now for the fall season and for the Christmas season. So you have lots to choose. So I'm going to go for one of the orange one, and already my little string is already off it. What I'm going to do, because I have now an opening, and I'm going to use one of my pins, and here in the Netherlands we call it punaise. Punaise. So you learn also a little bit of Dutch. And I'm going to place it, I think, over here, like this. And I'm going to do the punaise, like we say here, through the little hole. And I'm just going to push it into the wood. And of course, I hope that this will work and that the wood is not too, too hard, so I don't get it in. Like this. And I'm going to right now I'm going to get my letters, and I have letters from Scrabble letters. You can get them also everywhere you want, and this is just hobby letters. So, but of course you can also use some stickering. I did the letters fall, and don't mind that you see the letters backwards, because later on when I show you the quick impression, it's always in the right way. But it's just my telephone. So I'm going to go for one this side, one on this side, and a little bit on each place. You see here, over here, and this one over here. So just make a nice little straight, not a straight line, but a little bit a line the way you like it, this way. So I'm going to glue it on top. I don't know if I am keeping this punaise, because I don't know if I like it or not. I am looking at it, and you know me, if I don't like it, it goes away. But first we are going to do the letters. Just do a little drop of wood glue and just place them over here, and just a little pressure. And we're going to do this one, also a little drop, and we're going to place it over here. And we can do, of course you can do this also with some glue from your glue gun. And of course I have to be sure that I have it in the right spot. And you still can move it around. And I'm going for this one. And these are very small Scrabble letters, so they are very nicely to work with if you have little pieces. And this way. And I'm going to give it also a little pressure again. And this way. What I'm going to do, I have also a piece of black velvet ribbon. I have it in different colors, in red, green, blue, any color. And I ordered the most of them online on AliExpress, and you can find them very cheap velvet ribbon. So I'm going to do some glue, but of course I'm going to use my glue from my glue gun now. So of course I'm going to turn it over. I'm doing a little bit of glue over here, like this. Of course he has to work with me. And I'm going to lay my ribbon on here on the line from the board until the little handle. Just lay it down, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to go for one layer first, and this way, and I'm going to get it up, and I'm going to cut it off. And of course when I cut it off, I need my scissors, and you see already on my table, do you see scissors? No, I don't. This is just a Monday again, and I forget everything on my table. So I'm going to get my scissors for you. And here I have my scissors, and I'm going to cut off the ribbon like this. And I'm going to do, he can be a little bit shorter, because he's now a little bit too long. Of course, I give it an overlay because I don't want to see on the back side a piece open. So I'm going to fold it over here, do some glue on the ending, very easy. And I'm going to lay it down like this. And I remove the glue we don't need, like this. So you see, now you already have your own first line of ribbon, but of course there will be a second one. But before we're going to do that, I'm going to place also some little leaves. And I think I'm going to go for this way. And then I'm going to go over with the other piece of ribbon and leave a little space open, like this. But what I also can do is, maybe if I am lucky, I don't know if the luck is with me today, we will see. So I'm going to do a drop of glue, like this. Of course, it's a little bit too much glue because I am already totally under the glue. And I'm going to place this one over here. And I'm going to go over it and leave a little space open. I think a bit like this. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut it off just like we did with the first one. And this way we're going to cut it off. And I'm going to do some glue on the back side and press it close so you get a nice closed finish. Of course, we need to remove the glue like this. And what I'm going to try to do is, of course, I'm going to do my leaves inside. And I'm going to try that I can squeeze it in because I have enough space for it, so it has to be working, but I don't know if I can get it up. I will try it out of camera because this will take so long for you. So I have one of them inside and I used a knife because he is the thinnest. So I bend it up and then I could do it because you see already the wood was a little bit thicker. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to do on the back side a little bit of glue from my wood glue, like this. And I'm going to place it over here and make sure that we have it in this line because I want to go one this way and one to the other. And I'm going to get this one and I'm going to do already, I think, a little bit of glue already on top. You see, it's really a Monday. It really is. And this is, I don't know what the rest will come up with all the other cutting boards, but it doesn't, you see already, it doesn't predict a lot of goods. So I'm going to go for this one and this one a little higher, and I'm going to press it down and I'm going to let this dry in first. And you see, we are already getting there. This is already a first start. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my black pencil. Of course, you can also use some paint, but the great thing about a pencil, you can mark it a little bit, yeah, we say nauwkeurig, but a little bit, with the paint, you'll easily go over the orange paint, but if you have a pencil, it's nicer to go around the lines. So I'm going to, the stamp, I'm going to give a nice black color. So I make sure that I try not to go over the orange. So very easy. And I'm just going to color it in the black color, because I think the black needed to come back again, because I have here black, I have letters, but on the mushroom I didn't have my black. So I really am loving that I do the underside of the mushroom in the black, but I make sure that I don't do the sides of the mushroom in the black, only the front. And of course I'm going to do the line a little extra to make sure that he is really in the black color. And you see how he's already changed up. And now we are going to get the furniture wax, because I take my smallest pencil and I'm going to go over, and I have a very cheap brand furniture wax, you can buy them anywhere. I'm going to go over the leaves very lightly, just like this, to give it a nice little rustic color. So, a little bit around. And if you want to use another stain color, it's also fine too. Of course, you can go a little bit more for the rustic colors, like a little lighter orange or darker orange. Just do whatever you think is right. So I'm going for this one. And again over here and a little bit around. And I'm even going to go over the lettering, only the front side. So very easy, just lightly, to give it also a little bit more like the warmer color. So very easy. You see already the difference. I know, like I said, you see it backwards, but it is in the right way. So I'm going to finish off the lettering, and then we all need a piece of ribbon for the top. So I have everything in the furniture wax. The only thing we need, I'm going to do a little piece of ribbon over here, through here, and I'm going to make a very simple little bow, just the way you tie a shoe, for on top of here, but that's so easy to make. So I'm going to glue this on top. So this is the little bow I made, and it is so easy to do. So I'm going to glue it on the front side, and I'm just going to do it a little bit sideways over here, so I get a nice, still the lettering is very good to see. So you see, this is where I did my little bow, but you can place it any way you like. So and now I'm only going to do a little piece of ribbon through the little hole, but that's of course also to you. You choose maybe some twine. You don't have to use, of course, this ribbon. You are free to do any ribbon you like. And I'm going to get it through, so very easy, like this. And I'm going to turn it over to make sure that we have the velvet on the outside. So like this. Of course, we don't need too much ribbon because it's a little cutting board, so it doesn't need too much. I'm going to cut this off, and this way. And I'm going to do a little knot inside, and then you have your own a little fall cutting board you can place on a tier tray. So I have now my other 3 cutting boards, and you know them, they are in 3 different sizes. I have more wooden pieces like this. This is snowflake. I have some roosters, and I have of course some reindeer. What I'm going to use the reindeer for all 3 of them, because I'm going to place them together like a set, but of course you can change them up any way you like. So I'm going to use the reindeers. What I'm going to do first is we are going to place the reindeers, and I have of course the bigger one, the smaller one, and the in between, like this. And if you place them next to each other like this, you can a little bit measure out where you want to have your reindeers. I don't know if I'm going to do some lettering on top of the reindeer's head, but we will see that in a moment. It's just if it pops my mind or not. I have really no idea. And I'm going to place one over here, and this one will be a little bit smaller because he is a little bigger. I'm going to place him over here, and this one with his ears over here, and this one a little higher and in the middle. So I'm going to glue them on top of here, and I'm going to do that with some wood glue. Like I told you, it is Monday. It doesn't matter. I can cut it out, but I won't, because this is also DIYing. So I'm going to do some glue on the back side, and I'm going to place it over here and make sure that I have it in the middle. And this way. I'm going to place this one, of course, also a little glue, and maybe I'm doing it a little bit higher than the middle. I think his ears are going over the middle, and this way. And now I'm going to do this one on the same height as this one, also a little wood glue, not a lot, because or else it's popping out of under your reindeer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to get them in place where I want to have it. I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment. So our reindeers are almost dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my furniture wax and I'm going to do a little wax over the reindeer. Whoa, he has to lay down like this. Just give it a nice little rustic look. But if you like a coloring better, it's also get a pencil and color it in of a marker and color it in any color you like. Maybe red, dark green, it doesn't matter, just what you think is fitting for your decor. So I'm going to take my time just to fill in the little furniture wax, of at least in the little head of the reindeer, because the head is not very big. So I'm going to fill in. So we have our furniture wax on top of here, and what we're going to do, I'm going to get my glue from a glue gun and I'm going to make a black line just the same like we did with the one for the fall season. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place a little bit of glue over here, just in the middle, and I'm going to place it over here and make sure that it dries up. And I'm going to go over it and I just make a one line, very simple. I'm just going to the back side and I'm going to do it over the other one, so we don't see an opening, at least not on this side. And I'm going to do some glue over here and I'm going to close it up. And you see, this is already one. I'm going to do the other two also. What I'm going to do, because now we have on the top, if we have one piece of ribbon, I'm going to place this upside down. I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the ending of this ribbon and I'm going to place it a little bit under my stand, and this way. Of course, I have to be sure that I have it in the right spot. I'm going to go over. I'm going to make a nice line. I'm going to turn this one over and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to cut it off. Of course, I need my scissor and over here, and I'm going to do some glue on this side and I'm going to place the ribbon down and remove the glue, of course. Like this, I let this dry and I'm going to do that also with the other two. Of course, we now also have our under piece of ribbon and I'm going to lay it down like this. I'm going to get some greenery, very easy, simple greenery picks, and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to take a smaller one and I'm going to take a smaller one from this one, and I'm going to, I think this one is even smaller. And you see, it also has a little bit of the lighter green. I always make sure that two of them are the same. I'm going to cut off the ending of the plastic because we don't like that. And we are going to cut off this piece. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue it, but a little bit sides over here. So I'm going to do, and not on the ribbon totally, but a little bit under. So this one in the middle, and I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment like this. And now we're going to do the second one and we're going to squeeze it a little bit in with the other one, just really against each other. I show it to you in a moment. Then you get a nice closed ending of your greenery. You see, this is what I mean. Now he is closed. I'm going to do this also with the smaller ones. All of our three cutting boards are having the greenery. I was thinking to do a little piece of a bow or maybe some berries, but I am still coming up with the berries because I love the pop of red here. So I'm going to get 3 for every cutting board and I'm going to cut them out. This is a little bit of the brighter red, but of course you can choose maybe white or maybe blackberries, or You can choose anything you like. So I'm just going to make always clusters of 3. So just do a little glue and glue it in the middle like this. And keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. Then we go for a number 2. And again, a little drop of glue. And I'm using, of course, normally I use my glue of my glue gun because this works the fastest. Of course, you have other glues, but for me, this works very fast. So, and again, some glue on this one. And now we're going to glue the third one. We're closing it up like this, like a 3-piece. And this is how it is right now. I'm going to do the rest also. All 3 of them have their berries, and now I'm going to get my twine and I'm going to give it a little bow on the top of the ears of the reindeer. Of course, I'm going to do it with twine, but you can do it, of course, with any ribbon you like. But I want to keep it a little bit small and tiny because I don't want to get it this big because the reindeer head is not the biggest. So I'm going to go for a little small bow. So we're going to do it very easy. Just take a piece of twine, double it up, and you're going to cut it off. And like this, and we're just going to make a very simple bow, just the way you tie your shoes. And I just do it, like I said, double only, because I don't want to have it too big. So I'm going to try to get it as small as I can do. And this one also a little smaller. And I'm going to pull this part and I'm going to cut it off like this. And you see already now you have a nice tiny little, oh, this way is better to see it, a tiny bow. So I'm going to glue it in the middle of the reindeer over here. So a very small piece of glue, and I'm going to place it over the little hole we left open, or which is open because these wood pieces are normally you could use for a banner. So that's why I always have to work away. And you can also do the little hole with some speckle if you don't want to use a little bow. So I'm going to use this bow and I'm going to do the rest also. All 3 of them also have a bow right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going for the bigger one. I'm going to do some lettering on top, and I'm only going to do the word deer, but you can do anything. You can do Christmas, you can do yeah, Noel, you can do anything you like, but I'm going to glue them like this, or totally on top of each other this way. And I'm going to do it over here. And of course, the word is on top of here. The only thing I need to do in all 3 of them, I need to do a little a ribbon through the little hole, of course, on the cutting board. I'm going to do that, and you see right now a quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of our Tumbling tile blocks cutting boards, and I'm so happy how all 4 of them turned out. Of course, I made a set of 3, but you can do them separately. You don't have to do anything I did. And of course, the little fall cutting board, of course, is just an inspiration. You can make it any way you like. Of course, I hope you did this DIY together with me and you took out your Tumbling tile blocks too. But if you only love to watch, I hope you have fun watching. If you're not subscribed to our channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. I hope to see you there. Have an amazing day, everyone. See you next time. Bye.